Hey guys, I'm Renton with glaucomahope.com. Today I'm wearing a headset. Yesterday's video was a little bit hard to understand, so hopefully this is better. We're gonna start each day, checking in with the eyes. The left eye is badass. That's how it normally is. That's just how we want it to stay, right? And let's see the um the overall vision peripheral wise is good enough, and the vision straightforward is good enough, right? So we have no bueno, good enough, and happy dance. The right eye most likely will stay just good enough. I'm looking for the vision to sharpen up a little bit, but the uh, the vision's, it got wider, I think, and it's staying there. And it's cleared up from like 8 days ago when my right eye was completely blind. So I probably have about 65-70% vision right now, as far as compared to this eye. And I could see about 80% of what's there. The rest is those little globules or that Swiss cheese or whatever you call that, right? Like the things that get in the way. So today we're going to talk about some of the symptoms that I've had, and with glaucoma and eye problems in general, because some of them may or may not be related to glaucoma. I don't know, but it's all related to the high pressure in the eyes, right? Um, let's see. The So what started happening first with me was just that closing in and starting to lose the peripheral vision. That those tests that they do where you're clicking the button at the optometrist to check your peripheral fields, that started closing in, and becoming like in certain areas or whatever. It's like, hey, I think you're losing your vision. So that's where we first started to notice it, just like on paper, right? And then I started to feel like almost like a little bit of a crowding sensation on my right eye. Okay, so like something like from up here was like closing in on me, sort of. Like, and it's like almost like just like an uneasy feeling, but nothing where I'm losing my vision, because the actual stuff that I could see was clear, right? As clear as can be with my glasses, right? So so that sort of creeps in a little bit. So like that crowding or like a shadow over you, and then it starts to happen a little bit more. That feeling happens more in certain kinds of light, like certain kinds of lights, especially fluorescent lights, like in gyms or hospitals or something, um, and like bright or glaring lights coming off of windows, like where the sun's hitting and whatever. That stuff would like make it react worse. Like, so you're like, oh, and so it sort of lets you know, like all those people, those older people that wear those welder shades and stuff. Those people, they have glaucoma, because they go outside and they can't have the lights hit them, right? So that's, if you don't do something like the protocols that we're creating here, then you're in for a life of that and then going blind, so where people just lead you around and stuff. So we're trying to avoid that here, right? So like, yeah, fluorescent lights, computer screens, they could, like, when you look at them, like sometimes it's like uncomfortable. Like you could see, but it's uncomfortable, and that's sort of like the beginning stages, I would say. Like where it's actually happening, it's progressing, and you need to do something about that, right? If you don't do something about that, then what started happening to me was changes in the vision in my eye, right? Not just the crowding in, but then all of a sudden it would be blurry one day and not the next day, or just hours, at a time and stuff like that, to where like all of a sudden, like I'd be going, and it just, something just felt off in the right eye. And if you go like this, it'd be blurry. Then a few hours later, it could be clear. Whatever. But so that sort of would come and go a little bit, and then those globules or Swiss cheese, that started happening a little bit later down the road. that happened actually about a week before I went blind, um, and why I started what I'm doing now, right? So, like I guess 15 days ago, I had been without my regimen of stuff, my protocol, for about a week, and I started having these symptoms right here, where I the whole vision started going right, and like it was just like a film over me, and like these little globules, and then there would be like little pinholes where I could see clear through, but there's little pinholes, but like a bunch of them, right? But then if a light would hit, like that fluorescent light or an outside light, then bam bam, it would be like a fireworks show, and like if it went like that, it would just be like bam bam bam, all these lights and colors and white behind it, but these pinholes of this like bam 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 flashing lights, little pinholes, and it really fucking is frustrating. And that's with your eyes open, right? So um I'm thinking, wow, am I gonna have to fucking have a patch over my eye now, or what the hell? And is this gonna ever go away? And like, so that starts to happen, and then fucking pain starts to come in, and it hurts, because it's all this crazy shit going on. So you get pain and stuff like that, and that sucks, right? Um, so I found my stuff to do my regimen, and things got back on track, but I went blind a week later in my right eye, and then it slowly came back, and it's I'm doing my regimen more. I'm even like upping the the whatever the protocol, I guess you would say, to be a little bit more strict. So I'm doing like a almost like a 21-day of strictness right now, and to really just get my body in the optimal rehabilitative state internally, and get it going. So one other thing as far as symptoms that happened too for me is my body would shut down. So I'm a computer guy, right? So I'm at the computer all the fucking time, right? And I'm a digital marketer, and that's how I make my money. So I work like 7 days a week most of the time because I'm growing a business, and my body would just shut down because I don't know, looking at the screen too much, or just staying awake too long, whatever. And I would literally get this pain because I work out too. I'm a power lifter and stuff like that, but I get this pain back up in my trap up here, and it would go up and through here, right, and then shoot across here, and come over and down in here, right, into my eye, and it would fucking hurt so bad, like, and just pain all through, and I was like, oh, like it would shut me down to where I couldn't look at anything. And I would take Excedrin, and nothing would happen. Take 2 more Excedrin, nothing happened. Like I'd take 6 or 8 Excedrin, nothing would happen, and I would just finally pass out and wake up a couple hours later and be fine. It's really weird. But that would happen to me for the past 3 or 4 years, or maybe even longer. That's been happening to me, and it just I don't know if it's just me, my body just was going too long and it needed to shut down, but it's related to my eye as well, and that's uncomfortable. That's not happening to me right now because of my regimen, so that's another good thing. So, but all these symptoms are things to think about. The closing in or the crowding, the light, light, or fluorescent lights and things starting to bother you a little bit. You feeling like when you're around them, you feel like this little sensation over off to the right. I mean, mine closed in this way, so yours might close in this way or this way. So you might get your sensations from other areas. It might not come from outside here. But because the vision's like this, and you could lose it this way, you could lose it this way, this way, this way, or you can lose it just all the ways. So it's different for everybody, but the main point is, if you have it, it sucks, right? If you have glaucoma, it sucks, but there's hope, and we're doing that. So I feel good today. My vision, I mean, I could see myself. I could read the My Fit Life right here, and I could see my computer screen. It's good enough. And if I could stay like that for the rest of my life, if I could stay good enough with my eyesight for the rest of my life, I'm fucking happy, right? And that's what I want for you guys too. And that's why we're doing this. 100 days. I think this is day 4 of 100 days of straight videos. Today was symptoms and stuff. We'll talk about other things and food and nutrition, lifestyle, and other things that could help that I'm doing for myself. And I'm not going to give out a prescription for people, obviously, but I'm gonna be sharing the things that I'm doing and how it's affecting me. If things affecting me well, then we'll throw that into the regimen, and that's it. If you guys have any questions, again, just leave them down below. If you have any supportive stuff, let me know about it. And that's it. Again, Al Moranton, Glaucoma Hope. Peace. Bye-bye.